back yet again. Actually, literally back yet again. I didn't think about that until I said it. So, back day. I was supposed to hit back yesterday. But I was getting ready to go to the gym. They closed at 9. And I fucking overslept like a total fool. By the time I was back up and ready again, I would have been at Planet Fitness at like midnight. But I gotta wake up at 6, so, fuck me. So, this back day is after a rest day, but I'm gonna post it after I finish lifting on the same day. So I'm gonna go, lift, come back, record the whatever, edit it, and then post it tonight. Not that that even fucking matters. So, plan for back. I'm going over to the Metro again. I could, so I pretty much got 3 gyms in the rotation. I've got the Metro Fitness, Planet Fitness, and then the YMCA that's close to my house. Now, they're all good in kind of different ways, right? But the Metro has the most, let's just say, variety of machines. Like the Planet Fitness has a few rowing machines, which are all right. And the Y has barbells and shit. But only this Metro, like 20 minutes away, has like fancy rowing and whatever else type deals. So for the purpose of making sure I train my back in a variety of ways, and not just do the same shit every time, I'm gonna go over there today. So main idea, I don't know, I'm not really sure. I don't really have an exact plan. Like, I've got a basic idea of what I'm gonna do. Like, I know the kinds of exercises that I like. Pull downs, machine rows. I'm not gonna do any barbell rows today. Nothing like freestanding. Pretty much everything I'll do will be either just a normal pull down or something chest supported, just so I can really put all my energy in my back and not have to worry about activating my hamstring and glutes and lower back, trying to hold up almost 400 pounds for rows. So yeah, I guess we'll just see what I do when I get in there. But back for me has always been a pretty simple muscle to pump up. Like, I don't have to have I don't have to go into a back day with like the perfect mentality or perfect preparation, whatever. Like, I never really have an off back day. So if that's not the case for you, you gotta try some new shit, right? One thing that I definitely fucking recommend is you use straps. I think a lot of people who can't really like feel their lats activating, or they can't get the mind-muscle connection right, if they're not using straps, there's no chance you're gonna fucking be able to isolate your lats, because you're gonna be too busy fucking activating your forearms and your biceps pulling, right? If you want bigger forearms, the logic of thinking, oh well, I build my forearms by not using straps on back, I don't believe it. Well, I don't think that that's like a widespread beneficial method. I think for the most part, you're going to be better off using straps and taking your forearms out of the equation. And then, if you want bigger forearms, just do a bunch of fucking like wrist curls and reverse wrist curls. It's pretty simple. But straps definitely fucking a staple in my gym bag. So let's stop chatting and just fucking get started. I jump on a lap. Just a couple reps with forgot to turn my fucking mic on again. God damn it. So, started off with 3 sets. I'll just put this in the beginning. I did 3 sets of pull downs, decent weight, really just try to get a super good squeeze. And then the logic here is just moving on to a really heavy row, right? Of course, I went into this in perfect detail, but it wasn't fucking recorded. This set and these next 2 I'm gonna do, they're not really for the squeeze, right? Like when I was doing the pull downs, you know, I almost felt like I was pausing the weight at the bottom, really fucking flexing my lats. Whereas with this set, it's more so just throwing as much weight around as possible and fatiguing the back, right? But you gotta do an even mix of both. You know, if you only do light sets your whole workout, sure, you'll get pumped, but you're not gonna get strong. And if you only throw around as much weight as possible, then you're probably not gonna get that good of a pump. So an even mix is definitely the best method in my opinion. Do a little drop set for this one. So exactly like the 2 kinds of sets I was talking about, right? The beginning, you know, full stack, heavy as possible, just throw the fucking weight around, really fatigue, just kind of the whole back, honestly. Then, I think I'll drop the weight by half and really fucking squeeze, right? So the beginning will be more like the pre-exhaust portion, and the end will be more like a burn down. And then I think we'll probably finish off the rest of the lift with some probably mainly lat focused stuff. I think my back is real thick, but I think I could use a bit more width. So whatever. Let's just get in the zone. Come on. I'll flare my elbows upward a little bit more on this one. Make a little more rhomboid focus. Oh shit. Okay. That's good. It's gonna throw a drop set in every now and again. Let's move on to something to be determined. All right. So this is what I was talking about in terms of like a specialty machine. You know, like, okay, there's nothing insanely special about it, right? It's just sort of a lat bias pull down, but it's a different machine. I'm hitting my lats in a different way than normal, right? You know, I think it's not like you won't benefit from doing the same routine over and over again, but you're guaranteed to benefit from trying new shit throughout your, let's just say your lifting career, right? Like, you know, everybody knows you gotta shock the muscle, come on. That's basic lifter knowledge. So with these, I'll do one-handed. It'll just help me squeeze better. You know, doing one-sided movements, it's definitely not as efficient, right? Because you're spending essentially twice the amount of time you would on a set. But that means you get to give each side of your lats twice the attention, right? Instead of focusing on each at once, you can really squeeze one at a time. I think it helps with muscular imbalances too. You know, as long as you do the same number of reps for each side. So let's just get started here.
I gotta get him to move that. Yeah, I was waiting for somebody was on there. Yeah.
Oh, you're fine to walk in front of it, don't worry.
Yeah.
Honestly, this machine is, I'm getting a crazy stretch, but I don't know, I don't really love it. I like it, but only enough to do 2 sets, not 3. So let's just do one more. Again, just squeeze really fucking hard, and then we'll move on to something else. Actually, I'll lower the seat a little bit. That might be fucking with me. That did feel better. So, another little tip I want to think about. Don't just give up on a machine. If you try it for the first time and it just doesn't, it feels a little off. Because for one thing, maybe you just haven't made all the adjustments to the seat and the, you know, the leg rest or whatever that you have to, which can take a little bit of time to find out. And then some machines just fucking feel like shit some days. Like I could come in here and even something as basic as lat pull downs, I just wouldn't like it. It would just feel a little off. You know, I'd rather do something else. So if you try something, you know, maybe that just wasn't your day to hit that specific machine. All right, am I in frame? Whatever. So those feel pretty good. Again, I'm gonna move on to another lat bias movement. I'll do some single arm pullovers. For me, fucking double arm pullovers just feel like shit. Like if I have a rope, like sure, I can get a decent stretch at the top, but actually flexing my lats at the bottom, I don't know, it just doesn't connect with me. But if I do one at a time, right, so I'm sitting here kind of an angle, and I pull it down like this, towards like, you know, one side of my hip, I can really flex my lats and feel, you know, feel that burning sensation that we're all dying to get. So I'll just do one set here. I may do more. I may move on. I'm not sure. I'm really just going by feel at this point. Okay. I think that's set number 9. 2 more. Let's do a set of pull downs, see how that feels. You know, it's pretty much the end of the back workout. I am definitely fucking fatigued, so I'm not going to throw around the whole 250. I think let's drop it to a cool 190. Nice, comfortable 190. And rather than just throw around the weight, manhandle it, which will definitely fatigue your fucking lats, I'm gonna go slow, controlled, and really try to get that burn, right? Like what really stops you, like there's 2 extremes that can stop you from doing another rep, right? Now the first one is just like legitimate muscular fatigue in the sense of like, let's say a squat, right? Let's say you're doing a heavy ass squat, you only do 5 reps. Once you do 4, you know pretty much that if you go for 5, no matter how hard you fucking try, you might not get it, right? And you can't really force yourself beyond that, right? But with the lighter sets, you're gonna start to experience some discomfort because your fucking lats are gonna start burning, right? But you've still got actual strength in the tank. So obviously you wanna go hard on all your sets, but when you do something lighter and you're really just trying to fight through the burn, right, that's where it's gonna help to have some mental toughness, you know, to be able to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I can guarantee if you can get 5 extra reps where it's fucking burning, your pump is gonna fucking, what's the word? Reflect that, there we go. So let's do this one, really burn out. And if I want to finish off with a different movement, then I will. But if this feels good, then I'll just do one more of these. Whatever. Oh, fuck. Okay, I lied. There wasn't really anything else I would rather do than pull downs right now. But I will make the last set a little different and do a drop set. That 190 was a little too light, so I think I'll start off with 220 and then drop it to, I don't know, whatever the fuck I feel like. Oh shit. That's enough. Back has been fully pumped. You're fine. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so back has been fully pumped. Let's go check it out. God damn it. Oh, there we go. Whoop. Yeah, this lighting's sweet. I usually go by the benches, but there's a whole crew of big dogs. Right, no need to just walk right in front of them and start flexing. So, yeah, back complete. There's a variety of pull downs and rows. Mainly pull downs, pullovers as well. You know, close enough. So let's see what we're working with in terms of the pump. Oh shit. Ooh. It must just be fucking hot in this gym. Because every time I lift here, I get fucking drenched. But that's just a sign it was a good lift. Oh yeah, dude, like the stringer is fucking soaked. Holy shit. That is fucked up. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's spread these fuckers out. Whew. Feels pretty wide. How does it look from the back? Oh. Really, the only two fucking poses you can do, you know, lat spread and fucking double by. But, dude, yeah, fucking pumped as all hell. That's for sure. Not a lot of, so I don't do any direct trap work. Like, you never see me doing shrugs or anything like that. Which, I mean, those shrugs fucking work. But if your traps are developed enough, I think you can kind of overdo it. And you get, you know, I don't know. Like, I think mine are definitely, you know, developed enough. I don't need to be sitting here walking around all day like this, right? Also, I kind of think it maybe takes a little bit away from your shoulders, right? If your traps are fucking massive, then your shoulders won't pop out as much. But that might just be personal preference. So, you guys been asking what's in the jug? What's in the pre-workout jug? Or no, what am I saying? What's in the mid-workout jug? Let's get into that in the car. Right after one more fucking flex. Yeah, holy shit, the fucking lat poking out the side. That is fucking badass. Oh, honestly, is that the thumbnail right there? Yeah, I think it is. Sick. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Okay, so back got fucking thrashed. You know, same as usual. Honestly, that's exactly what I expected to happen. So, you guys know what this is? I'm not actually sure you do. I'm not actually freaking sure you do this time. But let's get into that in a moment. So still kind of funky. Certainly a little freaky tasting, just because it's a fucking big ass protein shake just getting slammed. But what the fuck was that? What was in that fucking shake? Because guess what? It wasn't dextrose. It wasn't freaking dextrose, god dang it. It's cluster dextrin. Right? Cluster dextrin, brought to you by, I think you know who. A little something called Hostile Supplements. You guys have honestly been kind of freaking out on me in the comments. Not everybody, just because it's it's definitely sort of a niche topic in terms of like, a supplement. Like, you never fucking hear anybody talking about dextrose except for, Aaron Reed. He's the one who put me onto dextrose. But so that was cluster dextrin, right? Similar logic, just another quickly digesting carb, but certainly not as off-putting in terms of the taste, right? Like the dextrose shake, oh my god, it was sweeter than fucking anything. Whereas the cluster dextrin with the protein pretty much just tasted like a normal shake, honestly. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit thicker. So that's what's in the fucking, that's what's in the jug too, right? Except, so you're gonna be able to get two kinds. There's normal unflavored, which, if you were doing the dextrose like I was telling you, then it's just a pretty simple swap. But, long-term viewers know that I was, the old Gatorade, or the old gallon milk jug I was sipping on was just, full of fucking Kool-Aid, or what else was in it? Kool-Aid, just a bunch of random fucking sugary drinks, right? Which were honestly kind of hard to get down. But the flavored cluster dextrin, fucking, oh my god, I forget the name. Yeah, fuck. It's berry. It's something berries. I'll add it. I'll add a little infographic right up there. But if you use the code SAMCDX, hopefully I timed that right with a little bit of a sound effect as well, then you'll be able to get 2 of those jugs for the price of 1. Right? So if you were interested in the dextrose, which, now sort of swap your mindset, get interested in the cluster dextrin, I'd recommend at least trying it. Because I can whoops, this guy's trying to fucking merge like an asshole. Because what's the logic of, at least guaranteed your post-workout meal, right? The first thing that you want to get into your system is going to be a quick digesting carb, right? Because your body just burned off a fuck ton of fuel, and guess what your fucking main fuel source is, right? It's going to be your carbs, your intramuscular glycogen, if you want to get real technical about it, right? That's why, like, bodybuilders talk about carbing up, or fucking marathon runners talk about carbing up the night before a run. They're filling up their muscles with glucose, or no, what am I saying? Glycogen. Same shit, whatever. Because that's what they're using for fuel. So after you finish a decently hard lift, which should be fucking every one of your lifts, you should always be going fucking hard, right? The first thing that you need in your system isn't protein, right? It's going to be a quick digesting carb. Now, in terms of the intra-workout carbs, my main mentality with it as in a bulking context is it is going to give you extra calories, but I definitely think that it might give you a little bit of extra energy as well. It's kind of hard to say. I never really go from doing it to not doing it, right? But now, instead of just sipping on, fucking random Gatorade and shit, throw in, I don't know, I think this jug was I'm gonna sip on it later through the day too, but it's got like 150 grams worth of the cluster dextrin, which that just translates to carbs, right? Like a gram of the dextrose or whatever. Check the fucking macro nutrient label on the back, but it's just carbs. Fuck, don't fucking crash. There we go. So yeah, like I was saying, same with pretty much all, supplementation, right? It's gonna add up over time, but each individual portion won't be completely groundbreaking, right? Like so pretty much the main staples I recommend in terms of supplements should probably go, I'd say in about this order, right? You're definitely gonna want pre-workout and creatine, right? Now, if you don't love fucking, caffeine, if caffeine totally fucks with you, then just get, a non-stim pre, right? Because you're still going to get huge benefits from having the citrulline and, all sorts of those little, I forget. Honestly, I really read into the citrulline the most, right? Because the nitric oxide ingredients, that's what I found always gives me a solid pump. But if you can handle the stims, a little bit of caffeine, then just get a caffeine included pre, right? So pre-workout, creatine, your multivitamins. Now, in terms of food, holy fuck, this guy is fucking killing me right now. Obviously, protein powder, normal meats, whatever. But in terms of your post-workout, first thing you should be taking in is some kind of simple carb. So I would at least recommend that you try it. So let's see, what else is there to talk about? Back. Honestly, I pretty much covered everything about the back workout when I was doing it. You know? Let's talk about deadlifts. You guys love when I bring up deadlifts. So the most I've ever deadlifted was 405, right? And that's when I was about, I think maybe 16, 17. I started lifting at about, I don't know, maybe 16 and a half-ish. I was probably 17 at the time. That was when I was lifting at my high school gym. So, when I started lifting, I had one of my buddies, Brandon. He showed me Callum von Moger. Fucking badass at the time. This is way back, 2017-ish peak era. So I'm fucking hyped. We're going to the Y. He showed me how to lift and shit. Watching all sorts of Jeff Nippert videos and Athlete X just to get a basic idea of, what the fuck I'm doing in the gym. Right? So once I got a basic routine, or at least a basic idea, I had a study hall. I've talked about this before, but I'm sure you newer viewers haven't heard about it. Back when I first started lifting, I had a study hall at the end of the day. It was, I forget how long the class was, maybe 55 minutes? Was it an hour? No. It was an hour-ish. And underneath my study hall was the school's weight room, right? And I knew the guy who ran that. It was a weightlifting class. He was my old elementary school gym teacher, and he still remembered me just from being a cool guy, I guess. So I came down, I asked him if I could fucking just lift with the class, like not do what they're doing, like do my own shit. And luckily for me, he let me. So I'd be going down there, fucking, benching, curling, tricep push downs, all sorts of basic shit. But I was still kind of a fucking newbie lifter at the time, because pretty much every other back day would just end up being a deadlift day, where I would just spend the whole time just working up to a max single. So I hit 405, and then the next time I did it, I got a little greedy, and I tried to get up to 455. I pulled it up to like mid shin, and then I dropped it. Luckily, I didn't hurt myself or anything. I'm sure my form, I don't know. It probably wasn't completely atrocious, but it probably wasn't awesome either. But that was the last time I ever deadlifted. That 455 fail. So just a little bit of interesting history, which I'm definitely glad that I got deadlifts out of my system early, right? Because right now I would get minimal benefit, if anything, probably a little bit of detriment by trying to do heavy deadlifts all the time, just because it's not an efficient movement. You're gonna be fucking gassed after 3 sets of heavy deadlifts. Assuming you actually go heavy and you do maybe, I don't know, 10-ish reps, whatever. right? In a bodybuilding context, you definitely don't want to be doing like 3 reps. You're not going to get shit out of that, right? But let's say you do 3 sets of 10, pretty heavy, you know, approaching, if not actually getting to failure, then you're going to be, I would, well, okay, maybe, I don't know about you, I guess, but I know I would be fucking exhausted. Because not only am I fucking working my back and my traps, you know, my, just everything up here, I'm also fucking putting a ton of load on my lower back, my glutes, my hamstrings. Quads are getting a little bit of work from fucking straightening out. Like, it's really a fucking full body athletic movement, right? Now, for the sake of, you know, deadlifting, if you just want to deadlift, if you like it, then shit, man, do your thing. I'm not going to stop you. But if your goal is to get a same back pump on a back day, so you can grow your back, it's just not really necessary. I'd rather put that energy into fucking pull downs and pullovers, right? And machine rows, stuff like that. You know, in terms of actually growing your back, it's probably going to be best to do mainly chest supported shit, right? Because then you don't have to focus on using your lower back, you know, and spending energy holding yourself up like that. Now, you know, of course, I'm contradicting myself because I was doing those cable rows, but you know, everything was a little grain of salt, right? Like, sure, I was working my lower back, but not as much as fucking straight up deadlifts, right? But if I were to do, you know, a hammer strength seated row with chest support and somehow manage to make the weight the exact same as on those seated rows, who knows? Would I get more reps? I think maybe, because I wouldn't be spending so much energy holding my torso up, you know, and not falling forward. But you know, main idea, if you're, you know, trying to get bigger, right? I think back doesn't need to be trained with much, you know, compound lifts per se, right? Pull downs, rows. Honestly, I think, at least for me, back is mainly a cable based workout. Cables and machines are what I like the most for back. But it's not the same for everything. I love free weights for chest, at least in terms of the heavy pressing, right? Like, I love some incline barbell and dumbbell. So don't just listen to what I'm fucking telling you, right? You know, for fucking guys that deadlift, sometimes they have fucking big ass backs, you know. But you got to be able to apply the information that you take in from like watching lifters YouTube videos and TikTok and fucking Instagram reels and whatever else, right? Because if you're just, you know, listening to what people are telling you what to do, right? If you're just blindly following what, like, the routines and shit that they're telling you, but you can't actually connect the dots on like why you're doing it, then I mean, you just sort of, what's the word I'm thinking of? What's the analogy I'm trying to reference? I don't know, you're just missing a step in your training, right? Like, if I were to ask somebody, "Oh, why are you doing it like that?" Like, "Oh, well, this guy told me to do it," and it looks like totally stupid. I think that guy might just be taking the wrong advice to heart, right? But let's say someone's doing a funky ass movement, and for whatever reason, I'm comfortable enough with them to say, like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" Like, if we're like buddies or something, and he actually explains it, and he's like, "You know, I can really get a crazy stretch on my lats when I do this. Like, you just got to try it, you know. Like, don't be afraid to try shit that might be a little bit funky, right? There's definitely a benefit to being able to go in the gym and see different ways to use machines that isn't necessarily what it was initially intended for, right? Good example, I don't do this, but when you see a girl do fucking hip thrusts on a leg extension, it's kind of smart. It's kind of smart. Or if you see somebody doing, I guess I can't really think of any right now. You get the idea, right? The more versatile and the more you can understand what you're doing and why you're doing it and where you're feeling it, the better. This is really trying to do a rant right at the end. Oh, goodness. So, gonna go home, eat an actual real meal. Not sure what. Maybe I'll just get fucking Wendy's or some shit. And then eat some more food, take my vitamins, go to bed. Cardio in the morning. Might record it, I might not. We'll find out. So either way, hope you guys had a freaking good lift. If you're trying to bulk up, I hope your stomach's full right now. And if you're trying to trim down, I hope your stomach's fucking empty right now. And in both cases, I hope you're doing your fucking cardio, or at least thinking about starting. So that's enough from me. I will see you next time.